Did you know your body doesn't age simply because the years pass? It ages because, from the very moment you were born, it was programmed to weaken, to break down, to get sick. This programming didn't come to you loudly or openly. It came quietly, like whispers you didn't even know you were hearing. From your very first breath, you began receiving invisible instructions that told you it was normal to wake up tired, that after a certain age your body would fail, your memory would fade, your skin would wrinkle. You accepted it without question. Everyone around you accepted it too. And that acceptance, that belief, is what speeds up the aging process more than time itself. Thousands of years ago, in ancient Egypt, a master named Thoth discovered a way to break this invisible programming. He uncovered a hidden technique that can awaken your inner energy, slow the damage, and even reverse it. This is not a modern trick or a shallow promise. It is an ancient code that works directly on your energy field. But before you can use it, there is a step you must take first. If you skip it, nothing else will work. This truth was left behind in symbols, rituals, and sacred practices that only a few have understood. By the time you take in what I am about to tell you, you will hold the map to escape the invisible prison that has been draining your life force day after day. To see it clearly, you have to understand the pattern. Everything around you operates according to a design. It isn't random. It's deliberate. Each time you turn on the news, you are bombarded with stories about disasters, crises, and invisible threats. Your body responds instantly without your permission. Your muscles tighten. Your breathing shortens. Your energy contracts. Your nervous system goes into fight or flight mode, even though you are just sitting on the couch. Have you noticed how a single headline or a short news clip can leave you restless, uneasy, or tired? That is not a coincidence. It is mental programming at work. Fearful images, constant chaos, and an endless stream of urgent alerts lower your vibration. And when your vibration is low, you stop questioning and simply react. You move into survival mode. And in survival mode, awakening your deeper power is almost impossible. Social media operates in a similar way, but with even more subtlety. You scroll through an endless mix of content, something funny, followed by something tragic, followed by something that makes you compare yourself and feel not good enough. The emotions come fast, all mixed together, never giving your mind time to rest. This constant shifting keeps you in a state of confusion, and a confused mind is a tired mind. When the mind is tired, the body eventually becomes sick. It's not about one video or one headline. It's about the relentless, non-stop stream that steals your focus and scatters your attention. When your attention is scattered, you cannot create, you cannot focus, and you cannot reach the deeper states of awareness where your real power exists. Thoth understood this long before there were televisions, smartphones, or the internet. In ancient times, control came through fear-based teachings, strict rules, and beliefs designed to keep people obedient. Today, control comes through the constant bombardment of information. The tools have changed, but the goal is exactly the same: to keep your energy low so you can be controlled. When your energy is low, you don't just feel tired, you lose the light in your eyes. Your breathing becomes shallow. Your creativity fades. You become predictable. And predictable people are the easiest to control. The exhaustion you feel at the end of each day is not just physical. It is energetic. Your body was never meant to live in constant alertness. That kind of heightened state was meant only for emergencies, not daily life. Yet for most people, it has become normal. And if your energy is drained every day by fear, distraction, and meaningless noise, how can you possibly access your real power? The truth is, you can't. But Thoth didn't just point out the problem. He found the way out. One of the first signs that you are ready to awaken is something you may have already felt, a strange emptiness. It is that uneasy feeling in your chest, a discomfort that appears when the noise around you finally stops. No song, no show, no conversation seems to fill it. The ancient Egyptians did not see this as a weakness. They saw it as a sacred sign. They called it the gate of rebirth. It is your soul's way of telling you that it is time to wake up. This emptiness is both physical and spiritual. Your body and your consciousness carry ancient memories, and they know when it is time for change. The system has taught you to fear this feeling, to call it failure or depression, and to cover it with distractions. But in truth, it is the first step toward transformation. The void is sacred space. It is where your old self begins to fade so your new self can be born. You cannot run from it. You must face it. Most people choose to fill this space with entertainment, business, or habits that numb them. But those who dare to step into it, those who face the darkness, discover that the darkness was never the enemy. The enemy was the fear of facing it. Not everyone feels this calling. It only comes to those whose invisible prison is already starting to crack. If you have felt this restlessness, it means the old programming is losing its hold. The walls are already weakening. When you stop running and listen to the emptiness, change begins. You start to see that you are not alone. Others before you have felt it too. Some ignored it and stayed asleep forever. Others listened and awakened. Jesus spoke of this truth when he said, "The kingdom of heaven is within you." He meant it literally. It is a state within yourself, not a faraway place. Buddha taught that your life is shaped by your thoughts. Hermes Trismegistus declared, "As above, so below. As within, so without." They were all pointing to the same truth. The power to heal, renew, and transform has always been inside you. That truth was hidden because an awakened person cannot be controlled. Thoth took it even further. He recorded this knowledge in symbols and codes that cannot be understood by the mind alone. They have to be felt, activated, and lived. These symbols are not decorations. They are maps to your inner power. The process they reveal is called alchemy, not the kind that turns metal into gold, but the kind that transforms your inner state. Modern science is now beginning to confirm what Thoth knew thousands of years ago. Every thought and every emotion sends chemical signals through your body. When you live in fear, guilt, or resentment, your brain floods your body with stress chemicals like cortisol and excess adrenaline. These chemicals damage your cells, cause inflammation, weaken your organs, and even switch off the genes that protect and repair you. This is what truly ages you, not the passage of time, but the energy you live in each day. The good news is that the same process can heal you. When you choose thoughts and feelings like gratitude, joy, compassion, and love, your brain releases healing chemicals, serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin. These substances repair tissues, regenerate cells, and can even reprogram your DNA for health. Your DNA is not fixed. It responds to the energy you feed it. The real transformation begins when you learn how to activate this process on purpose, turning your body into its own healer and your mind into its own master. The ancients left the knowledge. The signs are everywhere. And once you see them, you can never go back to living as if you are powerless. Science has shown us something truly life-changing. Through epigenetics, researchers have proven that your environment, your emotions, and your thoughts can switch your genes on or off. This means you are not trapped by your biology. Your body isn't set in stone. It changes based on what you carry inside. When you shift your inner state, you can shift your physical reality. This is what transformation really means. Taking the heavy, dense emotions you've been holding, the weight of stress, fear, and pain, and turning them into a lighter, brighter energy that renews you from the inside out. When you stop living in the constant loop of survival, when your body no longer feels it has to defend itself against threats that only exist in your mind, something remarkable happens. The energy once used for protection is freed up for healing. The body starts repairing itself. Your cells begin to regenerate. And with that, you don't just feel better. You actually start becoming a different version of yourself. You become lighter, more vibrant, and even younger in your body, your mind, and your spirit. If science now confirms what the ancient masters have taught for centuries, then why are so many still trapped in cycles of exhaustion, illness, and premature aging? It's because information alone doesn't change anything. Knowing is not enough. Transformation only comes when you apply what you know. And the place where this work begins is not locked away in a secret temple or written only in sacred texts. The starting point is right inside your chest, in the center of your being. That is where your deepest power lives. For generations, the wisdom of the ancients was dismissed as superstition or fantasy. But now, advancements in neuroscience, genetics, and quantum physics have turned what was once belief into measurable fact. Cellular biologist Bruce Lipton discovered that the environment surrounding your cells determines how they behave. That environment is not just the air you breathe or the food you eat. It is also your emotional state and your mental patterns. Every thought and feeling generates an electromagnetic field around you, and that field directly influences your cells. When you live in fear, anxiety, or despair, you create a toxic inner environment. Your cells struggle to repair and renew themselves. But when you choose peace, gratitude, and love, you create the ideal conditions for your cells to thrive and regenerate. Dr. Joe Dispenza's research shows that deep meditation can change your brain and your body at the cellular level. He has found that consistent meditation can even influence the length of your telomeres, the protective ends of your DNA strands that determine how long your cells can keep dividing before they age and die. Longer telomeres mean your body can stay younger for longer. This proves that meditation, conscious breathing, and raising your emotional vibration are not just spiritual trends. They are biological tools for extending your vitality and slowing the aging process. Your brain also cannot tell the difference between something you vividly imagine and something that is actually happening. This has been measured and confirmed. When you visualize yourself as healthy, strong, and full of life, your body takes that vision as a direct command and begins working to make it real. This means you are not just a passive passenger in life. You are the architect, Your thoughts, feelings, and intentions shape your biology in every moment. For years, you were told you were powerless against time, chance, and genetics. But now science and ancient wisdom are both saying the same thing. You hold the power to transform yourself. Quantum physics takes this understanding even deeper. It shows that everything in existence is energy vibrating at different frequencies. Even what we call matter, your body, your cells, the ground beneath your feet, is just condensed energy. And if everything is energy, then everything can be changed, transformed, and renewed as long as you know how to access and shift the right frequencies. What your eyes can't see, science can now measure in waves, frequencies, and electromagnetic fields. The invisible is no longer a mystery. It's simply a reality your senses haven't been trained to notice. One of the most powerful tools the ancients left for working with this energy is the Ankh, often called the key of life. Most people see it only as a decorative symbol from ancient Egypt, but it is actually a diagram of how life energy flows within you. The loop at the top represents your head and your mind, the place where thoughts and intentions are formed. The vertical line running down the middle represents your spine, the channel through which life force energy moves. The horizontal arms represent the balance between your physical life, your actions, your needs, your body, and your spiritual life, your unseen energy and divine connection. When energy flows from your mind, down your spine, and out evenly into both the physical and spiritual sides of your life, you experience true vitality. The Ankh is not just something to look at. It's a mental tool you can use to align and reprogram your energy. When you visualize it inside your body, changes begin to happen. Imagine the loop of light resting above your head, awakening your awareness. Picture a golden line running down your spine, strong and clear. See the arms of the Ankh opening across your chest, expanding your energy outward. As you breathe in, imagine energy rising from the ground through your spine to the loop above your head. As you breathe out, see that energy flowing through the arms, filling your chest, your shoulders, your arms, and radiating through your whole body. This simple combination of breath, visualization, and focus sends a direct command to your energy field to reorganize itself. What was blocked starts to flow. What was scattered begins to align. The ancient Egyptians knew that visualization alone wasn't enough to activate the full potential of the Ankh. They combined it with breath and a sacred sound, Ra. This sound, associated with the sun, was believed to awaken the inner fire and center of personal power. Practitioners would breathe deeply, visualizing golden light rising from the base of the spine to the top of the head. On the exhale, they would vibrate the sound Ra from deep in the solar plexus, letting it resonate inside the body rather than simply speaking it aloud. This vibration would awaken a warm, tingling energy that spread through the body, energizing every cell. While making the sound, they would visualize the Ankh glowing brighter, with the loop over the head illuminated, the central axis alive with golden light, and the arms expanding like wings of energy. The light would not only flow up and down, but also spiral outward, creating a sensation of movement and expansion through the entire body. This state was called energetic expansion, and it brought with it a feeling of being fully alive and deeply connected to life force itself. Even a few minutes of this practice each day could release blocked energy, restore vitality, and dissolve years of accumulated tension. But the ancients understood that this was only the beginning. Once the Ankh was activated, the energy needed to be circulated throughout the entire body so it could nourish and renew every part of you. If the energy stayed in one place, it would eventually fade or get stuck again. To prevent this, they developed what they called the light bath, a process of letting the awakened energy flow through every cell like a river of golden light, washing and renewing you from within, leaving you clear, strong, and deeply alive. They knew that when life energy rises all the way to the top of the head, it cannot simply stay there. It has to flow back down and spread through the whole body. It is like igniting a golden beacon at the very core of your being. Once it is lit, the light must reach every cell, every organ, every hidden space within you. This process is not complicated, but it demands your full presence. You cannot rush it or perform it half-aware. You must give yourself fully to it. After the first activation with the Ankh and the sound, the eyes remain gently closed. All attention is drawn to the very top of the head, the precise point where the golden light touched you. In that stillness, you begin to imagine that deep inside the center of your head, there is a radiant sun, pouring out a warm golden glow. This glow begins to open, spreading like a shimmering fountain of light. The streams of light flow gently over your scalp, across your forehead, down the curve of your cheeks, and over your face. They move slowly and deliberately, as though each ray knows exactly where it is meant to go. The light continues downward, slipping across your neck, your shoulders, and your arms, filling your chest, flowing through your hips and down your legs, until it reaches the soles of your feet. But it does not simply pass over you. It sinks in, penetrating the skin, traveling through the muscles and tissues, reaching all the way into the cells. Each cell, once dry and tired like a sponge left in the sun, drinks in the light as if it were fresh water in the desert. They swell with energy, begin to hum and vibrate, waking from a long sleep. Your organs respond in the same way. The heart, lungs, liver, kidneys, and every other part of you begins to glow from within, warmed and renewed by this golden current. As this happens, the breath becomes slow and deep. With each inhale, you draw even more light into yourself. With each exhale, you feel the light spreading to every corner of your being, reaching the small and hidden places you rarely notice, the joints, the bone marrow, the deepest vessels of your blood. This is not a fantasy. The body responds to detailed and intentional imagining. The brain sends signals to the nervous system. Repair processes are activated. Hormones begin to balance. The immune system strengthens. It is like giving a clear and undeniable instruction to your entire system. Wake up, renew yourself, return to life. Those who have practiced this light bath often notice changes right away. A sense of lightness in the body, peace in the mind that is not shaken by the outside world, a subtle warmth on the skin. Over time, these effects deepen. Energy levels rise, mental clarity sharpens, the skin glows, and the muscles grow stronger because the body remembers how to function with its full power. Yet even this is not enough on its own. Without a final step, the energy fades, the light dims, and the renewal slips away. The missing key is something the ancients understood completely and modern science has only just confirmed: the practice of anticipatory gratitude. Gratitude, when deeply felt, is not just an emotion. It is a biological command. When you feel genuine gratitude, as though the good you desire has already happened, your body believes it is true. It begins to act as if it is already renewed, already healed. Your cells interpret this as a sign that it is safe to regenerate. The immune system strengthens. Inflammation subsides. Hormones that encourage repair are released more easily. This is why Thoth's disciples, after the light bath, would remain still for 1 full minute, feeling pure gratitude, not for something that might happen one day, but for what they believed had already happened. It was not a fleeting thought or a polite thanks. It was a full-bodied knowing. They imagined their renewal as complete. They felt their cells restored, their hearts strong, their minds clear, and they rejoiced in it as if it were already visible. The body does not measure time the way the mind does. When you feel gratitude now, you pull the future into the present. You bridge what is unseen with what you can touch. And in doing so, you anchor the energy within you so it will last. Those who practice this notice not only greater renewal in their bodies, but also subtle, almost unexplainable changes in the way they move, speak, and look at the world. The posture shifts, the gaze brightens, and the voice carries more vitality. The body responds to what the heart truly believes. Thoth also taught that to make this renewal continuous, you must connect to the limitless source of life energy. Without that connection, the body will rely only on what you have generated within, and that energy will eventually fade. He called this connection the inner Eye of Horus. It is not the outer eye that sees the physical world, but the inner portal that links your individual energy to the energy of all creation. To open it, the eyes remain closed, and the focus is brought to the point between the eyebrows. This point, known in many traditions as the third eye, is not just a symbol, but an actual vibrational gateway. As you place your attention there, breathing deeply and calmly, a gentle tingling or pulsing may begin. You do not force it, you simply observe. With each breath, imagine drawing pure energy directly from the infinite source. No matter what name you call it, God, the universe, the quantum field, the name is unimportant. What matters is the awareness that you are part of it, connected to it at all times. Over time, this focus brings a peace that does not depend on quiet surroundings or ideal conditions. It comes from knowing you are sustained by something greater. The mind settles, the heart slows, and a sense of unlimited power begins to flow through you. The channel is open. The energy you activated with the light bath is now plugged into an endless reservoir. Thoth also shared a sacred word, Mayet, a sound carrying the principle of perfect balance and harmony. This sound is not meant to be spoken quickly or carelessly. It is meant to be breathed into existence slowly, letting its vibration move through your whole being. The ancients would chant Mayet in 3 tones. The first was a low tone, resonating through the lower body, waking hidden reserves of life force and anchoring the energy. The second was a middle tone, filling the heart and chest, melting away heaviness, opening the emotional center. The third was a high tone, resonating in the skull and the space between the eyebrows, clearing thought and expanding awareness. When these three tones were chanted in order, the body, emotions, and mind came into alignment, like three strings on an instrument perfectly tuned together. In that state, renewal happened naturally. The energy flowed without obstruction. Cells regenerated not by effort, but by returning to their original design. The more the practitioner surrendered to the sound, the more they could sense their inner frequencies, feeling exactly where more light and energy were needed. Yet even with all this, Thoth taught that the greatest secret of all was purpose. Energy without purpose is like water without a container. It spills away. The body knows when it is simply surviving, and when there is no real reason to remain strong, it begins to let go. Purpose, no matter how small or personal, is the signal to the body that it must endure, must repair, must thrive. It can be the desire to care for someone you love, to share your talents, to leave something better than you found it. It does not have to be grand in the world's eyes. It only has to be true for you. When you wake with a reason to live, your cells, your energy, your entire being respond in unison. Renewal stops being a task and becomes the natural state of a life aligned with meaning. This is why Thoth's teaching was never meant to be a one-time ritual. It was a way of life, a weaving together of breath, light, sound, gratitude, connection, and purpose. It is about living each day as a deliberate act, carrying awareness of your energy, your connection to the source, and your reason for being into every choice you make. When you live this way, time loses its power over you. You are not defined by numbers or calendars. You are sustained by an inner current that keeps you renewed from within, a current that anyone can choose to step into, but few will commit to fully. And those who do become timeless,